Okay, so yesterday we got to number 4, yes? Like I showed y'all some asymptotes, right? How to draw those, and then I showed y'all how to draw the graph. Y'all want to do this one together? Can somebody tell me where I go? Oh, y'all aren't there yet. Okay. So I'm about to move. It's basically like moving the origin. Where do I go? When I move that, I draw the dotted lines. Those are my asymptotes. Where do I go? And where else? Right 1. But do y'all understand? This is right 1. This means down 1. This one's always opposite, okay? It's because of a formula thing. Don't think too much about it. This is always opposite when it's with the x. So right 1 and down 1. So if I go right 1 and down 1, that's like being the origin right there. So now we draw our asymptotes, okay? So our new dotted lines, because it says sketch the asymptotes, that's the first part. So if you notice, it looks like we have moved right 1 and down 1, yes? So now the rest of it we can do with our calculator. Your calculator's not going to show you where to draw the asymptotes, okay? So now are we good so far? Am I going too fast? No. Okay. So go to y equals, and I want us to type in 5 divided by, and you must put the parentheses to tell your calculator that whole thing.
What does it say right in front of it?
I have no idea what that is. Okay, there's just something wrong with this calculator. So 5 parentheses x minus 1, and then what? Minus 1. That's saying that this is underneath the 5, all that. Yeah, my calculator's messed up. I think I'm going to get a new fancy one. Okay, now let's zoom 6, and there they are, okay? What this line is right here, it's your calculator did draw one of the asymptotes. Some calculators do that and some don't. Are we good with that? So, but just ignore that. We just want our inverse function, which remember it was like those two things that were in the opposite corners. Sure can. You have to make sure that x minus 1 is in parentheses.
I did that, but I didn't get it. Wait, I put like x divided by x minus 1.
No, it's 5. It's 5 divided by, and in parentheses. 5 is not in parentheses, it's in the numerator by itself. Since it's by itself, just put 5 and then the division sign. Now put your parentheses, x minus 1, close them, minus 1. I pressed zoom 6. Okay, because I don't know what your window is, you may want to press zoom 6. Now, you may not have that line going straight up and down. Don't worry about that line. Sometimes your calculators draw that asymptote, some of your calculators don't. Did you get it now? Okay. Now, we have to draw the graph. How do we draw it? On our paper. What do you need? Yeah, we need some points. So let's go look at our table. And, of course, there's an error here because that is an asymptote. Okay? So I'll start with 0, negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
0, negative 5.
Wait, so when we start at 0, do
Yours
we
says-
start at the original 0?
Did I
or
not-
at the line? The asymptote?
I put 5. Mine's negative 6. Wait, what did you say? Do you start at no, you start at your original thing. Yes. Your asymptotes just show the shift, but your table is still in reference to a normal graph with the origin. So graph these points exactly where they are. It should say 0, negative 6, Brock.
It's y equals 5 divided by parentheses x minus 1.
And then close parentheses, and then you put minus 1 again. See, that's what shifted it down one more. That's why mine was at negative 6 and yours wasn't, because mine shifted down one more. And then look, here's another ordered pair I like. Negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 2. And that's probably all the points that I'm going to be able to deal with, right, for the negative. So I'll just try to draw that. Let me look at my graph. Yeah, I'll just try my best. I know that's terrible, but it kind of shows your asymptotes. Yes, ma'am. Okay. And then let me go back to my table. And we got to get some positive ones. What did you say?
That's terrible.
Oh, no, mine's terrible too, so it's okay. 2, 4, over 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, over 3, 1, 2, 3, up 1.5. I might have another point I can do on this one. Oh, there we go, 6, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and stay there. So this one I have 3 points I can use. I missed it. It's okay. All right, does that kind of help us, y'all? That's all they want to know. You sketch your asymptotes first, and then you can graph it on your calculator. Are we good with that? I can, yeah. And look, if you put your points where I can see them, then there's no need to draw your table. But if you're ever worried about, like, you can always draw a little table so I know your ordered pairs, okay? Or you can even write your ordered pairs beside them if you wanted to. Like, I could write 2, 4, 3, 1, 6, 0. Like, you could always write ordered pairs. If you wanted to, you don't have to do that. I'll need to see, though, where they are, okay? If I was... What is that? 0, -6. 1, 2, 3, 4, -4, -2. Anyway. So, here's some questions from yesterday. They're not asking it on this paper, but let's review. What are my asymptotes? There's 2.
Where your line cannot go on or something.
So, and look, y'all, and if you can always tell this one, what can x not be to make this go to 0?
1.
Positive 1. 1. So x equals 1 is an asymptote. X cannot be 1. Do y'all see that? And look, if I go over on my x-axis, what number am I at? 1. So you don't have to write this on your paper. I'm just kind of trying to show you the asymptotes are the lines x equals 1 and y equals, where did I go down? I mean, I already told you. I went down -1. Those are those 2 numbers right there. 1 would make that 0, and what's that number right there? -1. Those are your 2 asymptotes. X equals 1 and y equals -1. Like yesterday, our asymptotes were x-axis and y-axis. But what have we done today? We have moved. We moved over and down. So we moved them. So that's why we went to 1 and then we went down 1. Does that make sense, y'all? You're just that's all it is. So if I was doing your domain, it's all real numbers except, nope, your domain is your x values. All real numbers except 1. If I asked you about your range, it's all real numbers except -1. And y'all, these are when you do your problem, it's the same answers over and over and over. Like you're dealing with these same numbers on this graph. Now, the next graph, depending on where I shift, those would be the numbers that I use over and over. Are we ready for another one? Yeah?
Will told me to tell you
He's coming. Okay. In a little bit. Okay, where does this one move? Yeah, down 3 and left 2. So that I'm going to draw my asymptotes first. That's all they want is the asymptotes in the graph. But we're going to do more.
Which one is supposed to be which?
What do you mean?
Like, how do you know which one is supposed to go up or down?
Oh, okay. If it's with the x, it's opposite of this. That means left 2. See?
So you draw it like this way?
So I would, well, look, let's just graph. Let's start at the origin. And this is where we're about to go. Do you understand why we're going left 2? You do. And then do you understand why we're going down 3? Okay, so do that. Go left 2 and down 1, 2, 3. And draw a little point. Okay? Are you good with that point? Now let's draw a vertical line and a horizontal line through it. Those are your 2 asymptotes. Are we good with that? Does that make sense now? This is why I told y'all too, like if you have color pencils or flare pens or something, like using a different color may help. Okay? Now, let's see what's next. Y'all want to graph it, or do y'all want to talk about your asymptotes and domain and range?
Graph.
Let's graph it. Okay, so let's go to y equals, and we're going to type in -4 divided by, make sure that x plus 2 is in parentheses, minus 3. I know my calculator, it's hard to tell, but any questions on how to type that in? And then when we press graph, there it is. You can ignore the line straight up and down. It drew one of the asymptotes, okay? And do y'all see that it's flipped because of the -4, right? That negative sign. So then all we need are some ordered pairs. So I'm going to go to my table. Is everybody okay to go to your table? All right, and then we just have to go pick some negative numbers. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go, yep, here we go. -4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and -1, -3, and up 1. Let me see if I have any others. Oh yeah, here's another one. -6, -2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and down 2. And that's enough over here. I can kind of see the shape of my graph. If you need to, always just go back to your graph and look at it, and that will help you get your shape of it. Let me move it for a second. That one's a little bit better. Okay, are we good with that one? Now when you go to your table, let's go to some positive x values. Well, here's -1, -7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That one's kind of way down there. That one's a little easier. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, -5. 2, -4.
Is -1 and -7 positive?
No, I just meant it's on this side of my... I was going to look for positive x values, but then I realized, well, because I'm shifted over... That was a good question. It's really, I could still use -1. I'm just looking for some on the left side of my asymptotes and some on the right side of the asymptotes. So you'll have to scroll through your table to find some. Does that make sense? Maybe? Okay. And there's my graph. And that's all that one asked for.
So you just did those, oh yeah, you did that.
And look, and I could just draw my asymptote a little bit further. Because look, you'll never, ever, ever cross those asymptotes. Okay, your lines cannot cross it. That's why your calculator says error and all that. So if I was to say, what are the equations of your asymptotes? One thing you could look at is x can't be what number? So x equals -2 is an asymptote. And then y goes where? Down 3. Y equals -3. And if you look, you're down 3 and left 2. So I don't know what...
Positive?
No, because you went down 3. Remember, the x is always opposite. Because it's a formula thing, but the x, it's always opposite. And then the y would be -3. Are we okay with that, y'all? Yeah? No? Okay. Then if I asked you for domain and range... Your domain, look at your x values. All real numbers except -2. And then if I asked you your range, all real numbers except -3. There you go. See how it's like once you start your problem, it's the same thing, the same numbers you're using. Okay, are we good with that? Yes. See if you can, I'm just going to go through this paper with you. This will be what we do today. Write an equation. And it tells you your asymptotes. Y'all should know how to do this. Like, it tells you your x, where it goes, and your y, where it goes. See if you can do it. You don't have to say it out loud. And I'll look at it in a second. Y'all already got it? Yeah, no, yeah, I think so. Okay, remember your x is always opposite. So it's going to say x -7. And then where does our y go? Up 6. So it is C. It's 4 over... your x -7 plus 6. Any questions on that one, y'all? No? Okay. Number 7. Okay, which one of those? Look at that and see where you move. Okay, there's some like this on the college algebra stuff that I've been seeing. So you went to the right 5 and where down 3. I'm going to write that down so you can write your equation. It moved to the right 5 and down 3. So now is it A, B, C, or D that matches?
B.
Let's see. I said right 5 down 3. Yes, it's B. Those aren't so bad, are they? Okay. Same thing, you can do number 8.
To the left. I don't know what that is.
It looks like it's to the left 4, and then it's up 3. So which one is the left 4 and up 3?
D.
D. Is anybody confused on why it's a plus sign? For the for the left 4. You got this?
Me?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Somewhat.
You want me to explain it?
I gotta go get my paper at that locker. I'm paying good attention.
Okay. Do you want to go grab it now?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll wait a second.
I was just too tired.
It's just gonna be a moment of awkward silence on our video.
Wait, which answer was it?
On that one, didn't we say D? Yeah, left 4, up 3. Remember, it's always, the X is always opposite. So when you go to the left, you're thinking it's going to be minus or negative, but it's really, you're going to put plus 4. Okay. Okay, number 9. How would you compare those graphs? You could, but without even looking at them. What's the difference in the numbers? 2.5. It's bigger than 1. So it has stretched by a factor of 2.5. Okay, does everybody understand that? If this number was the number 4.
So do we write that down?
Yeah, you would put it's stretched by a factor of 2.5. Or that's what I would say. Theirs might say it a little bit different, but... Okay, that's what I was going to say. So if it was like 4, it would be stretched by a factor of 4. Okay, if it was a negative, like negative 2, we would say it's flipped and stretched by a factor of 2, right? If it was a number between 0 and 1, we say it's compressed by a factor, okay? Does that make sense? It squishes it in. Okay, it compresses it. If you forgot the word compressed, you could say it squishes it in. Okay. Then are we done?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my, I thought there was like several more.
Yeah, I can find my paper.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, let me stop record.